Namaste and welcome to this Hatha Vinyasa class. We're going to begin in a active child's pose today. So just coming down onto the mat, bringing the soles of the feet together and just making sure the toes aren't overlapping. Bringing the knees apart, allowing the belly to completely relax between the thighs. And we can take the arms out in front with the palms facing down, relaxing the area around the shoulders and bringing the forehead down onto the mat. We can allow the forehead to relax on the mat, just crinkling towards the nose, allowing all of the weight of the head to be transferred onto the ground, allowing the whole body to relax here. And we can just begin to arrive to the practice, just taking some breaths, setting an intention for what you want out of this practice today. Whether you're looking for something really physical today or something a little bit more spiritual, or something to allow the mind to relax. So just asking yourself what you need out of this practice and setting that intention. And we can take some big breaths in through the nose, feeling the belly balloon between the thighs, and then taking some sighs out through the mouth. Repeating that in through the nose, big sighs out through the mouth. Good, breathing in, sighing out, and again, in, sighing out, and we can gently roll up, so bringing the hands towards the body, allowing the head to come up last, bringing the chin parallel to the ground. We can bring the palms to the heart center. And again, just tuning into that intention. Good. Okay. So we're going to begin now onto the knees. So just relaxing down. If that's a little bit painful for you, maybe placing a cushion or something between the knees and or just underneath the glutes. I'm going to take some half head rolls, so taking the ear to one shoulder and then back, just gently stretching out the neck, the side of the neck, the back of the neck, and just taking a little bit extra time anywhere that you're feeling that tension, just taking the time there to relax. Maybe hovering on one side and then moving round to the other side. Good. And then just allowing the chin to come down to the chest and then taking the head back, so gently stretching out the front of the neck, not overstretching here. Good, we'll take some big sun arms. Inhale, looking up as the palms meet. Exhale, turning the palms down. Inhale, bringing the palms up, not hunching in the shoulders. And exhale, down. Inhale, drawing the arms up, palms together. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, drawing the arms up. And exhale, back down. Good, rolling the shoulders back, and we can gently come into a cross-legged position as we come into a nice yummy side stretch, taking the right arm up, bending at the elbow. We're going to bring that hand down in the center of the spine, so just stretching out here the triceps, staying up nice and tall here. We're not hunching in the shoulders, we're up nice and tall. And gently release. This time taking up the left arm, bending at the elbow, using the right hand to draw that elbow back, stretching out the shoulders, the armpits, and keeping nice and upright in the chest and the spine. Good, and gently release, rolling the shoulders back. 3, 4, and then forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Okay, so we'll come into our side stretch now. So taking the left hand down, taking the right arm up, keeping the chest nice and lifted, the neck neutral, and exhale, release. Leaning now over to the right, and exhale, release. Leaning a little bit deeper this time, sliding the hand a little bit further out and back, and this time back now over to the right hand side. Good. Rolling the shoulders back again. We can interlock the hands behind the body, drawing the shoulders back and down, keeping the chin nice and neutral. We're not arching in the back here, the core is engaged so that we're not collapsing here at all and putting any tension on the lower back. Taking some breaths here. Good. If you want to, just taking some little half rolls around the neck. And this is really good for helping posture, particularly if we have desk jobs and things like that. Okay, so we're going to come now onto a tabletop position. So just taking the knees hip width apart, taking the wrists under the shoulders. We'll drop the belly, look up, inhaling, exhaling, rounding the back, bringing the chin down to the chest, stretching the shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly, feeling a stretch in the belly. Exhaling, chin to chest. Inhaling, moving forward, and exhaling, rounding to cat pose. Inhaling, dropping the belly, cow pose. Exhaling, rounding to cat. And we'll repeat that again. And this time we're going to take the hands a little bit further out in front, and we're going to take the right leg back, stretching out the calf, Achilles muscles here. So just really pushing that heel down towards the ground, keeping the leg lovely and straight. You can really push through the hands. Back to neutral, and taking the left leg back this time. Again, pushing that heel down, keeping the leg lovely and straight. And then we'll gently release to our tabletop position. Gently just moving side to side here. It just creates a little bit of space and awareness of how the hips are feeling where we store lots of tension. Good. Okay, so from here we're going to come into some little swooping cats. So we're going to inhale, bend the elbows, dropping the belly, exhaling, rounding back. So this is just an extension of our cat-cow position with a little bit more fluidity, a little bit more flow in the body. So finding a pace that's good for you. Good. Inhaling, dropping as we're moving forward. Exhale as we round. You might feel a little bit in the arms here because we do work the arms. These are sort of a very simple modified version of a press up here, a yogi press up. Okay, we're going to cross the right leg around the left leg now. Grab something for the knees if that's a bit much on the knees, and we can move down onto the forearms if that's comfortable for you. We can move the hips side to side, noticing as we do so it's a little bit more of a release around the hips, and just exploring that movement and that range of mobility in the hips here. Now we can take the arms out in front, coming onto the fingertips if you like, or staying palms flat on the ground, melting the heart down to the earth. This is really nice for the shoulders. So just stretching around the shoulders and the armpits, maybe the pectoral muscles as well. And we'll gently release, coming onto the forearms first and then back onto the hands. Release the leg. And then this time we're going to take the left leg around, just gently twisting that around the right. And dropping onto the forearms again. This time taking the little sways with the hips again, just noticing that range of movement, how that feels for you today. And that can change on a daily basis or different times of the day. Just being kind to yourself as we take the hands in front, again, either onto the fingertips or keeping the hands flat. Melting the heart down. You can take the head onto the mat if you like, or keeping the head slightly up, just being really soft on the neck. Good. And we'll gently come up onto the forearms and then onto the hands, releasing the leg. Good. We'll curl the toes under behind, gently walking the hands back. Little reflexology for the feet. And we can interlock the hands behind the back, just gently drawing down, pulling the shoulders back and down. If you want to, taking the gaze, your drishti, up towards the sky. Again, just being really gentle and soft on the neck. Now we're going to bring the hands to the right hip, so just bringing that around, still drawing them back and down, and that right elbow is constantly drawing back. We're not relaxing there, it's still very, very active. Breathing here. Good. And then we can come back down, and then we're going to take that over round to the left hip, so the interlocked hands, resting that onto the left hip. Again, drawing the shoulders back and down, and then that left elbow is constantly drawing back. So we're not relaxing through that at all. Breathing here. Good. And then this time we can take the head a little bit further back after we stretching, pulling those hands down to the earth. And release. Good. So we're going to bring the knees into the chest here as we just come out of that little toe cruncher. And you might feel a little stretch on the Achilles here. You might be able to get the heels all the way down to the ground. No problems if not. Use the hands onto the ground. Relax the head. And staying here in this little squat position, holding opposite elbows if you can. No problems if not. Maybe just sitting the bottom down onto something, a block or a little pillow. And we're going to gently come into a little forward fold here. So we're going to straighten the legs a little bit, and again holding onto opposite elbows. Inhaling, twisting round to the right. Exhaling to center. Inhale, twisting to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Release the hands down. Good. Okay, so we can just gently try and straighten the legs a little bit. And exhale down. So we're just going to be moving around a little bit in the hamstrings, just to stretch the hamstrings nice and gently. Good. And we can roll all the way up to standing, nice and slow. Chin parallel to the ground, rolling the shoulders back and down. Good. Okay, so we're going to come to the front of the mat now, bringing the feet together. Taking the hands down by the side of the body in Samastitihi, looking forward, engaging the glutes, lifting the knees by engaging the quad muscles. Good. Taking a moment here, just noticing our balance. Good. Taking another breath. Lovely. We'll inhale, take the arms up. And we can keep the hands apart here. Good. Stretching all of the upper body, not pushing the chest forward here though. And we're going to take that right leg back. We're going to come straight into a warrior two position. So the heels are in one line, the left knee is bent, the knee's not going over the ankle. Let's come into side angle, leaning over, stretching all of the right side of the body. Good, hold here. We'll come back into our warrior two, looking over that left middle finger. Good, breathing here. Inhale, fly the warrior, hands meeting, straighten the leg. And exhale, release the hands. We're going to move forward into triangle pose. So the left hand is resting onto the left shin. The right arm can open up. If that's too much, then just take the right hand onto the lower back. Keeping the neck nice and neutral. We're stretching the right side of the body. Moving back up now to Warrior 2. Bending that left leg. Good. We're going to reverse the warrior, taking the left arm up, gently looking up, keeping the body open, and back down to Warrior 2. Exhale. Let's revolve that warrior this time, taking the right arm up, and the left hand maybe reaches the back of the left thigh, and back to our Warrior 2. Good. Release the hands. And we can bring the right knee up, bending at the knee here, staying up nice and tall, hands on the hips, keep that right foot flexed. And if you want to, stretching that out in front. And gently release. Good. Coming back, inhaling, arms up. Really stretching the fingers. Exhale, taking the left leg back this time, keeping the heels in line. Warrior 2, making sure that the right knee doesn't go over the ankle. Good. We'll come into our side angle, taking the left arm overhead. Exhale, back to our Warrior 2 position. Good. Hold here. Inhale, coming up, flying the warrior. And exhale, back to Warrior 2. We'll straighten that the right leg, and we're going to take the right hand down to the right shin and take the left arm up here into our triangle pose. Inhale, coming up, hands nice and straight, and this time we'll reverse the warrior. Good. Lovely. And this time we'll take the arms back out, stretching the arms. Good. And this time revolving that warrior, so taking the left hand to the right thigh, maybe on the hip region, taking the right arm up. And exhale, coming back to our Warrior 2. Gently release. Hands on the hips. This time we're going to move to the front of the mat, keeping the left leg up, the knee bent, flexing the foot. Hold here. And if you can, then stretching that left leg out in front. And release. Good. Inhale, raise the arms. Good. And exhale, we'll swan dive forward now. Coming into a little forward fold, bending the knees generously. Inhale, coming up again. Exhale, swan dive it forward, forward fold. Planting the hands down. And belly and thighs connecting. Inhale, raising the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Planting the hands down. Good. Okay, we'll half lift, find space. And the weight should be in the toes here. Exhale, back to our forward fold, taking the hands onto the calves. Inhale, find space, moving forward, looking forward, back nice and straight. Exhale, hands on the calves. Good. Inhale, find space, looking forward. Exhale, back to our forward fold, hands on the calves. Okay, planting the hands down. We can take the right foot behind, dropping the knee, dropping the foot down. Good, finding a comfortable position here. Making sure the left knee doesn't go over the ankle, interlocking the fingers behind. Keeping the chest nice and forward, just really relaxing the hips here, pushing the hips down towards the earth, keeping the shoulders rolling back and down. Good. Taking a couple of breaths. And we can plant the hands down, coming back into a little tabletop position. And we're going to melt the heart down towards the earth again. So really pushing the hands out in front, keeping the legs at a nice 90-degree angle. Relaxing the head down onto the earth. Breathing here. Good. Walking the hands back, coming into our tabletop position. Curling the toes under behind. Let's find downward facing dog. Lovely. So keeping the body in a nice triangular shape here. Bending the knees if you need to. And trying to push the heels down towards the earth. Really making sure that we're pushing through all of the fingers so that we're not putting all of the weight into the wrists. Good. Breathing here. Good. We'll take the right foot forward between the hands, dropping the left knee and foot down. Inhale, take the arms up above. Spreading the fingers really nice and wide here. Good. Exhale, nice wide cactus arms, drawing the elbows back. Inhale, taking the arms up, looking up, spreading the fingers. Exhale, cactus arms, allowing the hips to really dip each time we exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back to cactus arms. Planting the hands down onto the mat. Curling the left foot. We're going to move forward now into a little balance. You might want to keep the hands down, trying to still keep the hips nice and square. You might be able to bring the hands together at the heart. Or you might need to keep the hands on the mat, whatever feels good for you. So this is a really good stretch on the right hamstrings here. If you feel a little bit wobbly, that's fine. Bring the left foot forward. We'll come back to a little forward fold, hands on the calves. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, drawing the arms up, nice stretch up tall. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to calves, forward fold. Inhale, raising the arms up, reaching up. Exhale, back to our swan dive, hands on the calves. And again, inhale, coming up nice and tall, not arching in the back. Exhale, swan dive, hands on the calves, forward fold. Still trying to straighten the legs as much as possible. Inhale, find space, coming up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, finding space, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find space, moving forward. Weight is in the toes. Exhaling, forward fold. Planting the hands down. We'll take the left foot behind, dropping the knee and the foot down. Keeping the legs in a nice straight position here. We'll interlock the hands behind, drawing the shoulders back and down. Again, making sure that the right knee doesn't go over the heel here. Keep drawing those hips down towards the earth, stretching out the hips. And we can plant the hands down, coming back into our tabletop position, gently moving the hips side to side. We'll melt the heart down towards the earth. Again, keeping the legs in a nice 90-degree angle, relaxing the forehead down on the ground, really stretching those arms out in front. Good. Coming back to a tabletop position, we'll curl the toes under behind, pushing back, finding downward facing dog. Lovely, and we'll take some breaths here. Bending the knees a little bit if you need to, and then straightening. Good. Taking the gaze somewhere between the hands and the feet. We're really pointing the tailbone up towards the sky here. We can pedal out the feet if you need to, stretching out the hamstrings and calves. Good. Okay, we're going to bring that left foot forward between the hands, drop the right knee and foot down. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, nice wide cactus arms, drawing those elbows back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, finding a little bit of extra space, moving the hips a little bit closer to the earth. Inhale, taking the arms up. Exhale, find the cactus arms again. And release the hands down onto the mat. And we're going to bring that little balancing position again. So We can keep the right foot flexed. The hands can come down onto the mat, or if you feel brave, if you feel strong enough today, bringing them to the heart. No problem if you need to keep returning the hands down to the mat. We can point or flex the toes, whatever feels better for you. Bring that right foot down, back to a forward fold. Inhale, find some space, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, hands on the calves. Inhale, find some space. Exhale, forward fold, keeping the weight in the toes. Remember to keep our weight here. Planting the hands. We'll take both feet back, moving now into a plank position. Hold here. Good. We can drop down into chaturanga, lower all the way down to the mat, coming up full cobra. Inhale here. Elbows close to the body, engage the glutes. We're going to move back into a child's pose. We're going to do this as a little flow, so exhaling fully here in child's pose. Inhaling, pushing forward, dropping the hips, engaging the glutes so that we're really not pushing any pressure on our lower back. And exhale back to a child's pose. Relax the forehead. Good. Inhale, moving forward, dropping the hips. Good. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Good. If you want to, you can move slightly forward, lifting the knees, coming into up dog. And then we're going to push back into a downward facing dog. Really stretching again the hamstrings, stretching out the feet. Taking some breaths here. Bending the knees as much as we can now, almost touching the ground if not touching the ground a little bit, and then back to our downward facing dog, pedaling out the legs. Good. And we're going to come into pigeon pose here, so grab a blanket or something if you need. We're going to take the right foot forward. You might need something just to sit under that right hip, and we can either have the right knee at a 90-degree angle, so sort of parallel with the mat, or keeping that close to the leg, whatever feels better for you. Moving forward, and we can inhale, come back up. Inhale, coming into a little sleeping swan, and moving back up. Good. So exhaling, moving forward, and inhaling, moving back up. Good. Curl the toes under, behind, push through the hands, back to our downward facing dog. Pushing the tailbone up towards the sky. Taking some breaths, and we'll bring the left foot forward. Again, grabbing a little blanket or pillow for the left hips if you need it. And we'll come into that little flow again. So taking a big breath in, exhale, folding forward, sleeping swan. Inhale, coming up, looking forward, and exhale, sleeping swan. Inhale, coming up, exhale, sleeping swan. Inhale, moving up, and exhale, sleeping swan. Good. Inhale, we'll move up. Push through the hands and the feet, coming back into our downward facing dog. Again, just remembering to push through the fingers, protecting our wrists. Good. We can generously bend the knees and then straighten. Good. Using our core here. Good. Okay, so generously bending and then straighten the legs. Pedaling out the legs if you need to. Good. We're going to come now into a little hop forward, just gently practicing a little handstand here. So just hopping the legs up, both feet at the same time. And now we're going to try just bouncing off the right foot. You might find a little bit of space. This might feel a little bit scary, so just do what feels good. You might be able to hold for a second or not. Just enjoy the process. We'll try one more off that right foot and gently release. Good. We'll try the same thing with the left foot now. So hopping off that left foot. There's always one side that feels a little bit easier. Focusing your gaze on one point down in front of you between the hands. Good. Might be feeling that a little bit in the hands. We'll drop the knees down to the earth, release the feet. We'll come back into hero's pose. Let's just gently take some rotations of the wrists. One way, just watching the movements. And then rotating that back the other way. Good. Maybe a few clasps of the hands. And then we're going to stretch between each finger. So just pulling the skin between each fingers apart. Feels really good on the hands. Not a stretch we often do outside of a yoga class, but it feels really good for the hands. And then a couple more wrist rotations. Good. Okay, so coming back now, we're going to rest all the way down onto the mat and just have a moment in crocodile pose, resting the forehead down to the ground. Taking a couple of breaths. Okay, and we're going to rest the head onto the left hand now, bending the right leg, really pushing the hips down towards the earth here, holding on to that right foot, using a strap if you can't quite reach. Just getting a nice quad stretch here as we do a little preparation for bow pose. Good. Gently release that right foot. Resting the head now onto the right hand, bending the left leg, holding on to that with the left hand. Really pushing that heel towards the left glute, pushing the hips towards the ground. Good. And we can gently release. This time resting the forehead down onto the ground. We're going to come into a little baby cobra here. So elbows are in really tight to the body. Exhale, release the head down. Inhale, moving up, just looking forward, just lifting the head. And exhale, down. Inhale, looking forward. And exhale, release the head down to the mat. Good. Inhale, we're going to lift the head and the chest, keeping the belly down. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale, moving up. Exhale, peeling back down to the mat. Inhale, coming up. Last time. And exhale, release. Good. Okay. So this time we're going to be coming up as much as we feel comfortable. So really pushing the shoulders down away from the ears, and exhale, release down to the mat. Inhale, peeling up, and exhale, release down to the ground. And again, inhale, moving up. Make sure we engage in the glutes here, protecting the back. Exhale, down to the mat. Good. Okay, we're going to bend both legs this time. Seeing if we can hold on to the feet with the hands. Grab a strap if you can't. Roll the shoulders back and down. We're going to push through the hips and looking forward. So doing that little baby cobra, but just looking forward and holding on to the legs. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, looking forward, constantly pulling those shoulders back and down, engaging the glutes still, and release. Inhale, we're going to lift the quads up now from the ground, so we're sort of balancing on our hips. Exhale down. Good. Maybe holding on to the ankles if that feels more comfortable. Inhaling, moving up into our bow pose. Exhaling, release. If this is too much on the lower back, just relax down. Inhale, moving up. Hold here. And exhale, release. Good. Lovely. We're going to do that again. Really trying to pull those legs up. Looking up. Exhale, release. Good. We'll gently release the legs down to the mat. And we're going to push through the hands, moving back into a child's pose here, just to counter that on the lower back. So bringing the knees apart, resting the belly between the thighs, arms out in front, resting the forehead down. Just taking some breaths here. Good. Just allowing the breath to ease off. We'll move back up now. We're going to come into a little hop forward as we cross the legs. And then we're going to come into a little core strengthening practice here. When we do some lower back work, it's really good to work our core as well, the opposing muscles here. So taking the legs out in front, keeping the chest forward. Make sure you're on an even piece of ground here. Pointing the toes forward, taking the arms out in front. Good, and release. Good. Okay, doing that again. So pointing the toes forward. If you want to, you can straighten the legs. Good. Release. Okay, once more. Good. You can take the arms up above if you wish. Hold here. Keep that core really nice and strong and release. We're going to take some little rocks backwards and forwards. So rolling backwards with control. Massaging the back. Good. Lovely. A couple more. Okay. So we're going to lay down onto our back now. And let's just recline here in butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together. If you like, you can place a little pillow underneath each knee. Resting the hands onto the lower abdominals, just feeling the breath here. Just relaxing the head, relaxing the neck. As we gently unwind into the mat, into Shavasana. Just taking some nice deep breaths in through the nose, in and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good, and again. And once more. Good, and we can use the hands to help guide the knees back together as we gently roll onto our right side. Just taking our time to get there. If you need to rest any longer where you are, that's fine. Just taking a few breaths here. Good. And if you feel ready, you can push into the hands, keeping the eyes closed, but coming back into a comfortable seated position, cross-legged position. Rolling the shoulders back, hands on the knees, facing down, preserving our energy. We can bring the hands together at the heart, taking a moment to be thankful for attending the practice, attending to ourselves and our mind and our body. And gently dip the chin down onto the top of the fingertips. Thank you everybody for joining me on this practice. Namaste.